Alrighty, so we have Ralphie here. This week we decided to take him and a bunch of us siblings and friends to runnings to work on some basic obedience, some of his commands, and some loose leash walking. So when I walked Ralphie in, I decided I wanted to walk him in with a cart, and he actually did very well with this. He was kind of pulling to go sniff, but the leash pressure with me just continuing to walk kind of gave him that little pull to be like, oh yeah, I have to be with you. So here I decided to step up on the difficult scale and walk both Ralphie and Simon together with the cart. It was a little bit difficult. They were kind of looping around each other. They were kind of sniffing to see what's going on and see what this is. They've never smelled cat food before, so I just kept walking, and they ended up doing very well with this. I'm actually very impressed with both of them. So moving on to Ralphie's place command, what I'm doing here is I am just guiding him up on the object that I want him to place on and asking him to place. Now, place is any object identifiable from the ground. It could be a dog bed, it could be this crate box that we had him on, it could be a couch cushion, a rug, anything that's identifiable from the ground. So again, stepping up on the difficult scale, I dropped a bed, and when I bent down to go put it away, he kind of popped off place. So what I'm doing here is I am just guiding him right back onto place, and I said, nope, place. And I made him go back into a down on place, and then I walked away, and I actually went around the aisle here just to test him again, and he actually did very well with this part and came back. Gave him a little reward, but he did pop up from a down, so I just put him right back into a down, as you can see here, and then I rewarded him for that. Picked up the leash. He did pop up from the leash. This is a big trigger from the dogs. Just ask him right back down, go back into a down. So I'm going to ask him one more time to hop up on place here. He can sit or down on a place. I'm not too picky as long as he knows that he's got to hang out there for a little bit. I'm going to release him here, and then I am going to try and ask him for a sit-stay while I pick up the crate and put it back, but he popped up, so now I am going to lead him right back to where I wanted him, touch for attention, ask him to sit again, and now I'm going to ask him for a down stay. And I asked him to stay right there. I went to go pick up the crate. He popped up, so I'm going to put him right back into that down, and then I'm going to pick up the crate and put it away. Now we're gonna get him to do some sits, and as you can see, he's looking right at me, but he's actually kind of ignoring me a little bit. I'm touching for attention, that's still not doing anything. I'm walking into him, still not doing anything. So I just put my hand slightly on top of his butt, and I used a little bit of pressure, and I asked him to sit. And when he finally did sit, I gave him a reward for that, because that is what we want. We don't actually want them to have a choice when we ask them to do something. Moving on to loose leash walking, you can see there's a little bit of correction here, but we end up doing some down stays here, touching for attention again. Someone was walking past with a cart, asking him to go into it down. I asked him to stay, and then we had a little distraction with someone asking to come pet, and I said, just 1 second. He popped up, so I went and I put him right back into a down, and then I asked him to stay again. Here, I'm using a little bit of leash pressure, just pulling the leash a little bit down so it pulls his collar, and he's like, oh yeah, I have to be in it down. I back up, I ask him to stay, and I release him, and then we go ahead and give a nice warm greeting to one of the employees at Runnings. And this was such a polite greeting, and he did so well with this.